Hey, Pam. Any action on your behalf?
Nope. I waited at the salon and she never showed up.
Could she be with one of her favorite clients?
Favorite? This late? They don't like her like that.
Okay, maybe another employee?
Employee? They don't like her either. I'm the only one that actually like Karen.
You know, in one of the most telling moments from this recent episode of Sistas, Pam brings up the fact that none of Karen's customers nor her employee slash stylist actually like her. And if you checked out the video I did about Karen reading the entire sister circle and is Karen really leaving Atlanta, I go into detail about her personality a bit more, but I think it's kind of sad. But that's another point I wanted to bring up. I know season 9 has put Karen through the ringer. You know, she hasn't always been a fan favorite. I mean, she has her fans, but let's be real. Her entire character for the duration of this show has been one of animosity. You know, it's frustrating to see how she carries herself, how she goes around just spreading chaos. And one could argue on some level, you know, who's the bigger villain? Is it Karen or is it Gary? But when you look at how she's been treated this season, it's awful, you know, from the Dr. Cruz and that other nurse neglecting her and whatnot during her just strenuous labor pains and everything with the postpartum and whatnot. And I've already explained how I feel like it goes beyond just losing forever, but that's another conversation that you could check out on my previous videos. But as Fatima told Belinda in, I believe, episode 8 of Zatima season 4, I'm going to forgive, but I'm not going to forget. And as fans who have, you know, especially those of us who have watched every single episode of this series, and I'm talking like, you know, when it first came out, and, you know, we talked about it during the hiatus periods and whatnot, or those who have binged it on BET Plus or whatever platform, you know, Karen has been like the greatest bringer of pure hell in this series, especially towards the like of Zach and Fatima. And when you look at how she interacts with all the characters, Aaron, her so-called quote-unquote girls, sister circle friends, Pam, you can see why no one really likes her. And I mentioned this in a few other videos. Karen surrounds herself by people she knows she can pressure, talk down to, bend to her will, blindly validate her feelings out of fear that she'll, you know, go off on them. And now it's just one of those things where when the chips are down and you need someone to be there for you, you look around your circle, the people in your life, and you realize, no, y'all can't relate. But I think it goes deeper than that. It's not just that people can't relate. It's just that no one really likes you. And I mean, you must be very good at what you do at a salon because the customers come back and your employees need the bread. But the fact that no one really rocks with Karen, I can believe that. I really can. And like I mentioned in the, I think it was the Why is Karen Leaving ATL video, I said, keep in mind when Karen's salon had burnt down, and I think she told Pam, and from there told Pam to tell the other employees or whatever that, hey, I can't pay y'all until I get the new shop up and running or repair this old one. Pam was the only one to stand by her side, which, hey, I get it. I mean, if you're, like, let's say you work at a school or an office job or whatever, and the building is burnt down or destroyed, and they're like, yeah, so we can't pay anybody because we don't have a building. You're more than likely, none of these employees will put on a hard hat and help build the building again or go to a new location. No, they'll just try to find other employment until their old job gets fixed up if they want to return. But no, fast forward to season 7, we had a 3-month time skip. Karen and Pam are the only ones there sweeping up and moving boxes and everything. I didn't see any other employees there. Sure, they showed up once the building was complete, but Pam was the only one that held Karen down. And we see how Karen treats her. And don't get me wrong, there are times where it's like, yeah, Pam needs to be scolded because she doesn't really take her job seriously. But that just goes to what I've been saying. Karen just surrounds herself by people she knows she can boss around, people she feels better than. And when she's in need, no one's around because, well, hey. So it really is sad, but that's the way it is. It really is. Nobody likes her. And then got the nerve to get upset. You know, what was it? Isaac, one of the stylists, had left in season 3. I think it was season 3. You know, that one stylist that quit to start his own salon. And he was one of Karen's best stylists there. He was doing hair for lower prices. And this is when Karen was in trouble because a bunch of her clients went to the new salon and her books were looking empty. And it wasn't until Pam made a false call to the health inspector that got that place shut down. So people were quick to jump ship. And yet again, it goes back to, well, we really don't rock with Karen like that. So her wanting to leave ATL and whatnot, honestly, wouldn't be too, much of a bad thing. She can truly start over and kind of like what Gary claiming he wants to do, start fresh, make a new life for myself and be better. So, yeah. But what do you think about that? Nobody liking Karen. Is it believable? Do you think Pam was exaggerating? But I think it's accurate. I do think it is accurate. Nobody likes her.